picture. Look at that hair. Yeah, it probably tells you about this ultimate connection between acquired wisdom and a hair loss. While I was in the midst of this celebration, yeah, I'm 22, the best on earth, sky is the limit, I was approached by Rona Petrosian. She was the wife of late world champion Tigran Petrosian. And she said something stunning. She said, "Young man, I was sorry for you." I was shocked. Sorry? She said, "Yes, sorry, because the happiest day of your life has just passed." At that time, I couldn't appreciate the wisdom in these words. Later, I recognized that it was probably the greatest gift she could give me at that day, because she set up a new goal in my life, a very elusive goal. She could be right, but I had a goal to prove her wrong, and always to look for new horizons, always to make sure that that was not the happiest day, that I still could make the difference. If not at the chessboard, it's somewhere else. And since I became the youngest world champion at age 22, people kept asking me about the secret of the success. It's like asking for a tip. Can you give us a tip, how to play chess? What is the secret of the best winning move, whether it's in chess, in business, in politics? And there were many myths about me, so that I spoke 15 languages, I had photographic memory, I ate special brain food. Unfortunately, I have to disappoint you, there are no secrets. It's about hard work, okay, thanks to my parents, thanks to God, talent, but you have to work hard. When we talk about sharing intellectual capital, we have to agree that before you share it, you have to create it, you have to build it. And you start with education. Nelson Mandela called education the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I agree. And I can add that this powerful weapon is available not only to rich nations. So investment in education, it's the only kind of investment that guarantees positive results. And what else in today's financial turmoil you can expect from your investment? When we enter classrooms, even in the most developed countries, even the countries which can afford to have computers on the desks, we still see the same room, literally the same room, classroom as 100 years ago. Putting computers in the room is not enough. Downloading homework is not enough. Educational materials of the past were static and isolated. And the world, the kids, this new generation, I would call them iPad generation, are going to live. This world is digital, dynamic, interactive, and social. So therefore, education must be digital, dynamic, interactive, and social. And don't tell me that we cannot break up with sacred traditions. Britannica, God's sake, is no longer printing books. Wikipedia is not only bigger and faster, but it's interactive. It's alive, just like the world. And digital tools allow kids to collaborate and work together, find new answers, and become their own teachers. These iPad generation kids, they do not recognize teacher as the sole source of authority and information in the room, because they use the information to be interactive, to travel both ways. So real-time interaction stimulates the mind and encourages participation. And I saw the effect chess had almost at every layer of the society, whether you do it in the slums or in the most prestigious schools. So kids love it, and they acquire vital educational skills that will help them not only in the school, but later in their lives. Also, it boosts their confidence, because they could see, especially when we're talking about kids from underprivileged families, whether it's Johannesburg or São Paulo or elsewhere, or Harlem in New York City, they could see that they can succeed not only in the field of physical exercise, but also to become successful in the field of intellect. Some people say that education is too important to take risk with new ideas and new measures. It should be slow, it should be gradual. I agree with first part of the statement. Education is too important, and it's too important not to risk. Because if we do not take risk of introducing new ideas and new tools in the classroom, we will be raising a generation that is already trapped in the past instead of building the future. My father died when I was 7, so unfortunately I couldn't learn much from him, although he taught me how to play chess. That was probably his greatest contribution to my life. When you are 5, 6, 7, whatever, 10, so I mean, you are not concentrating on certain moments where you receive an important advice from your parents or from adults who are helping you to grow and to become a decent person. I think it was all about working ethics. So you just have to work hard. And my mother even just had a little slogan that I put just on top of my bed: if not you, who else? So that's what I learned. So I always have to look inside for all good or bad in the decision making. So I never blamed the outside world for my own failures, and I always like to share my success with others. So those are very simple things that I learned from my early days, and thanks to my mother and to some of the great teachers like Mikhail Botvinnik I mentioned, who have been so helpful when I was very young.
We'll take one more question at the back, right at the back. There we go.
Mr. Kasparov, I'm curious, do you have a Pussy Riot song on your iPhone or iPod? And do you listen to it? Do you like it?
I have to tell you that this is not a masterpiece that one is going to carry. Yeah. It's a very primitive text, but in the world of politics, in the world of public opinion, sometimes very primitive things. And again, the main line there is Virgin Mary, drive Putin away. That's it. It's just repeating over and over, also making very sharp comments about the KGB nature of Russian Orthodox Church. But this line disappeared in translation, so people are not concentrating on that. The reason these girls got such a severe punishment is that, unlike many other political activists, they hit at the probably most sensitive juncture of Putin's political structure. Putin thinks of his own political system as the combination of the Tsarist rule and blessed by church. It's like restoring the old glory of Russian Empire, of course, seeing himself as a Tsar. And asking Virgin Mary to drive him away, to push him out of power, that was a blasphemy in Putin's Russia. It's a heresy that must be punished with a criminal code. Of course, there was nothing in the criminal code, so that's why Russian courts were citing some lines from the medieval Inquisition. But for Putin, is the crime that had to be punished instantly, and that's probably it's a paradox of something being so simple, but at the same time so powerful. And it's not accidental that this little incident in Russian temple, Orthodox temple, has become the most important political protest during Putin's rule.
And there we will leave it. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's give a round of applause to Garry Kasparov.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.